What's up, everybody? This is the Sports League Podcast. Back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak. We got the co-host, Amanda. We got John Abraham. We got Triple A back to recap Week 8. An incredible week of football. I retook the lead in picks over Amanda. I was hoping for the 3 games, but I only got one since her Packers came through. The big win over the Steelers. I'm sure you were happy about that, Amanda.
Yeah, you guys don't understand how tense I get. I have nothing nice to say. Those refs were ridiculous all game. Like, you guys didn't want my commentary. It was very aggro during the first half.
Well, the officiating throughout the week in the NFL was terrible.
Horrible.
So, Abe, did you see that? A lot of missed calls, a lot of bad calls, just bad officiating, and at the wrong time, considering everything that's going on in the NBA and with gambling and stuff.
I think the worst thing I saw was we used the cameras to call the first downs. And I
Mhm.
can say I think that is a good thing to do with football, but it seemed like it really was a problem this week. Like,
Yep.
you talking about 5 inches from a first down, and the camera showed that, and the ball was right here instead of there. Like, that should have been a
Mhm.
first down a couple times when I seen it. And even when they gave a first down to Kansas City on Mahomes' run, they had to come back and take it back. It's just like some of the stuff we want to lead to football. You know what I mean? Like, just the stuff we're used to. After a while, it's like everything's going to be just mechanicalized. Everything is going to be like, but the camera said this, the camera said this, and it felt more like a hockey out there or something. We were doing all these, making sure this was right, making sure this was right. So, and definitely the Philadelphia game was going to be a big thing when it comes to tush push on the off,
Yep.
because you could see them moving off sides, and that should have been a fumble. I mean, it was
That
obvious.
was
There's nothing.
absolutely a fumble.
Yeah,
Anybody, like, how you going to say, okay, he was down by contact, or the forward progress was finished? Like they said, if he was going into the end zone, you would have kept letting him push, kept letting him push. If he would have fell through for 2 or 3 yards, they would have given him yards. So that was very.
yeah, 100%. So we'll see if the officiating can get cleaned up. But let's get into these games. Um, Thursday night football, the Vikings at the Chargers. LA, after starting out 3-0, had lost 3 of their last 4. They jump out to a 21-3 halftime lead and blow out the Vikings 37-10. Amanda, were you surprised by how well the Chargers controlled this game? And Carson Wentz seemed to be playing through, a lot of pain in this game.
Didn't know that there was going to be this much like injury stuff going on with him. I thought it would be a lot closer, but I'm glad the Chargers are showing up. Like this
Mm-hmm.
Chargers team should be the way that they're playing week to week, but we've seen them like not meet expectations quite a few times this season. So I think they played up to where they should be for the first time in a while.
Yeah, and the Chargers getting Joe Alt back helped, and they got key contributions from Kamani Vidal, like their third string running back, and the rookie tight end Oronde Gadsden has really come on of late.
Yeah, this is just the new NFL right now. It's so unpredictable. You don't know what team you're going to get. This is a Charger team that we saw at the beginning of the year that we was, I guess, praising so much on. This is what the Herbert that we thought we was going to see the whole year, but also is on a depleted Vikings defense that hasn't been playing well this year. They supposed to win this game, even with Wentz going down. And you were talking trash about Wentz at first, Alex, so you should feel bad about that now. But he was, at least he really was hurt, because they was trashing
Yeah.
him bad in the media. I saw so many just AI things, crying, and he doing all that. But I think the Vikings are just not a good team right now, and I don't think it's particularly the coaching. I think that you don't have the chemistry with the players yet. They have great players. Everybody knows that. If you can get the ball to 18 as a quarterback, which you see the smartest quarterback right now is I can't think of his name right now. Old guy from Cincinnati. He's doing it right.
Flacco.
Yeah, Flacco's doing it right. He's giving it to the number one receiver every time. I think he had like 50 targets in the last 3 games. So that's what you got to do. You got to get the ball to Jetta if you want to win the game. But if you have a quarterback that's banged up, you have a team that really mentally banged up, I think, because they don't know what they're going to get when JJ comes back. So it's starting to seep down the whole team. I think they're kind of giving the season away now. Like, it's kind of like
Mhm.
they're playing the game, counting for themselves, but you can't see the real team aspect of the team right now.
Yeah.
I have to disagree a little bit with what you said, though, about getting the ball to your number one, because there are other teams who have been really successful spreading the ball around. Like you look at Green Bay, they've got so many receivers. Like our number one receiver should be Matthew Golden. Aaron Rodgers targeted 9 different players in the first half of the game. Like,
Yeah. So I'm saying like with this factor is the quarterback and the importance of that receiver because this quarterback is not spreading the ball out good. You're talking about good quarterback spreading now. The teams you're talking about makes absolute sense. You talk about Dallas, they got to spread the ball out. You talk about the
Mhm.
Falcons, they need to spread the ball out. Now I'm saying, but if I'm a quarterback coming as a backup and I need to keep my job, I'm gonna do what Flacco. I mean, like
Yeah.
like obviously every team has the best teams are going to be able to spread the ball out, but in all else, I'm just going to go to 18 as much as possible. I'm going to do whatever I can to keep him in the game because I know he's my main factor. So I totally agree with what you're saying, but I just think they don't have that offense that can show off like that.
I wish they'd rely more on their run game too. I'm not
Right.
seeing enough ground game plan out of them, and I don't know why.
Well, and they talked. I heard this on. I think it was Move the Sticks with Daniel Jeremiah and Bucky Brooks. They're talking about sometimes an offensive coordinator gets that reputation as being like a great play caller and a passing coordinator and designing, getting guys open, and they like get too reliant on the pass game. They don't, and it takes discipline to keep running the ball. And you get Aaron Jones back, and you barely use him. Jordan Mason as well. So yeah, I wasn't happy with the Vikings game plan. Abe, you said it. Carson Wentz has surgery and is done for the season with a shoulder injury. So now the Vikings are down to 2 young quarterbacks, J.J. McCarthy and undrafted rookie Max Brosmer. I think they need to bring in a veteran because, I mean, Abe, the season could slip away pretty quickly from the Vikings now with these young quarterbacks and just not having the cohesiveness with the roster.
Yeah, well, we know they ain't going to try to get Kirk Cousins anymore, so we can erase that name out. We can take that name out of the hat and throw that one
I
away
can
again.
see Russell Wilson moving up north.
Yeah.
Not a bad look.
Yeah, that would be cool. But big win for the Chargers. They get to 5-3. And then Amanda, I know you like JJ McCarthy, but how about his first game back from injury? He's going to have to go at the Lions next week. Not ideal.
I like him. I think he has potential. I don't think he's developed enough to be a starting quarterback yet. I mean, I think he's a nice kid. Obviously, as a Michigan fan, like I got a soft spot, but he is not ready to be a starting quarterback, and I think they're going to get absolutely demolished. I think Aiden Hutchinson, I think it's going to be a really rough game with the Detroit mindset and how they play and how scrappy they are. I think it's
Yeah.
going to be bad.
um, Abe, let's talk about your Falcons. No Michael Penix, so maybe we should have seen this coming. But Kirk Cousins looked really bad. We expected a lot more out of him in this game, and the Dolphins, do work. They blow out the Falcons 34-10. I picked Atlanta. They're at home, and they didn't get much out of their running game either from Bijan or Algier.
And this is the worst rush defense in the league. And I don't see how they were able to capitalize on Buffalo with the running defense they had. But then when they come to a team that's 1-6, even if you watch the game, which I had their body language, the whole team body language just off. It's like, dang, we got Kurt. It seemed like everybody was like that. And Kurt was making checks at the line. Receivers didn't know what the checks were at times. It was looking very bad. And like even Bijan fumbling, it was just like they came just not to play. Like it's nothing I can say. I
Mhm.
can't call the defense out. I can't call the offense out. I can't call special teams. It was just an entirety of a team playing bad. And Zach Robinson has to take his ego and throw it away for a little while. Look, we're done with this pistol thing. We're gonna get under the center a little bit. We're gonna run some plays that make sense more now. Like this pistol is not working for us. Everybody's not scared of it no more. Even though he said that most of the defenses are scared of it, it's like it's just if you want to be a great offensive coordinator, you got to learn how to make adjustments. Just because you had a quarterback in LA that can run that type offense. You don't have that in Atlanta. So as long as you try to hold on to that offense and not try to grow from it, it's going to look like this. Like, yeah, you're going to have some games that everything is just going to be on great cylinders when you have Bijan breaking for 120 yards rushing, but he only ran the ball like 8, 9 times. Like, and this is on the worst run defense, regardless of whether they were up 17-3, you still try to create that running game because that's
Yeah.
the guy. That was your guy
Yep.
who's going. This is the worst defense. They're the worst defense for a reason. It's not because of that. It's because people keep running at you, keep turning at it. So they didn't play well. And I don't want to talk bad about the coach because I love Raheem as a person and I love him as a coach too. But this is just it's wearing bad in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, this game is crazy too, because the reason I thought Atlanta should win is because of how bad that run defense is and because of the talent they have. And then it just didn't translate. I saw a social media post that said that they were playing like all the first string had gotten food poisoning the night before, and they just started an entire team of second and third stringers on like a moment's notice. Like no one had practiced together, no one had played together, like everyone was just thrown in at the last minute. That's how they looked.
Yeah, it looked like they were unprepared, and that does, that falls on coaching. And I agree. I like Raheem Morris as well. I think Zach Robinson is a good coordinator. They just need to kind of like regroup and figure out what is allowing this team to be inconsistent on a week-to-week basis. Amanda, like you said, you have to like flip a coin on these Falcon games because you don't know who you're going to get from one game to the next.
It's crazy how just impossible they are to pick. Like
Tua
it,
had one
Yeah,
eye. Tua had one eye.
yeah.
Tua eye swole up the night of
yeah.
the
How are you
game,
gonna
and
lose to a freaking pirate?
he was out here looking the best quarterback in the league, man. It was just so bad on every and I even spoke about it after the game. The only person you saw playing with real energy was Caden Ellis. Like even on the defense, like nobody was live. Caden Ellis was all around the ball. Jesse Bates got hurt in the game, but Jesse Bates hasn't been Jesse Bates this year. I don't know if he's like trying to pick it up for the younger guys they have, Billy Badass and just I don't know if his dad and Watt and like these guys, and I don't know if it's just he's not comfortable now because he has to manage too much. And so he can't really play how he want to play. Like that's a tough thing. I remember playing on certain teams and I was like, if I don't get no sack, I know these guys are not. And I got to make sure the guy beside me know what I'm playing. I'm telling him, Bill, you got this, you got this. So by the time the ball is snapped, I'm like, hell, I'm a little behind because I want to make sure he in his right place. So I don't know if that's what's going on with him, but I just haven't seen that passion, that fire that I've seen like the last couple of years. But I think Brick is doing a great job putting them in good situations, but we definitely got to get like who's the starters. They switch the D line so much you don't know who's in the game. And I understand you want fresh players, but also you want somebody to have repetition so they know what they're doing. You haven't really heard from Walker. Walker didn't play, but and JP like James Pierce Jr. hasn't been half the what they wanted right now. Like it's just not looking good right at all.
And it doesn't get any easier, Amanda. Next week, the Falcons at the Patriots, who are on a 5-game winning streak. Drake May playing at an MVP level. But you're calling it right now. You're saying Atlanta's going to win that game. So we'll see if
No,
they
I
can.
I flipped the quarter. I'm not doing my picks officially. I was just messing around before. So I flipped my quarter and I said Atlanta's gonna win, but the
Yeah.
the Patriots should totally win that game.
Yeah.
Like I did you guys see Drake May's interview when they asked him about his interception? Did you see his
Uh,
response? He was like, "Yeah, I was looking down the field and then I forgot the guy in front of me can jump." When his frontal lobe fully develops, he is gonna be fucking unstoppable. Like just he's still such a kid. Like he's so funny.
I wonder if Spencer Rattler was saying the same thing on that his terrible pick six. But we'll get to that here in a few. Sorry for the shots at the South Carolina quarterback, but got to get him in. Um, on a sad note, real quick, Abe, former Jet, Nick Mangold, dies at 41 years old with kidney disease. He was a great player, a great teammate, loved by everyone that he, was around him. 7-time Pro Bowler with the Jets, and it just sucks to see, way too young, but a hell of a player.
Yeah, he lived a good life though. You can't knock anybody for that. seeing his image that he left in the Jets, it hurts my feelings sometimes because I wish I could have left that same, impression. So this is one of the guys that always happy, like just always brings good energy. Every time I see him, he always smiling. He's always hanging with the fans. He was just like a fan favorite. And also, my trade was one of the picks that ended up getting him. So that was, so for me, definitely, that's something that I take personal. I think the last time I really got to talk to him was at the Jets all time team, and that's when I first got to meet him and got to like really, you just meet some people and you like they're genuinely good people. Like I don't know what he
Yeah.
does wrong, but it's like this is just him. Like you meet certain people, you like this is just his person. He's not faking anything. And the Jets got their first win, so that was a good thing. They fought hard. This is how y'all need to play every game, and they almost lost it, but they was able to fight and they played well. They got Brees Hall involved in the game. Definitely a good look for Fields. Fields needed this kind of win, especially after how the owner talked so much. Just a little thing. It wasn't a lot of trash, but you know how it is in these days and time with the internet. It seemed like he saved way more. So for him to be able to come back and play well, AG getting his first win, hopefully this will be something that get the ball rolling for them, and definitely show them that they can be a good team and they can play well. It was against the Bengals, but the Bengals has a great offense. They play well. They're not
Yeah.
slouches. They're not slouches by far. So in a couple of games that they probably could have won, and they still have Miami again. They have other teams that they should win. So hopefully they can get a 6 or 7 win out of this season.
Abe, how do you feel about the team's confidence in Justin Fields when it comes down to a game-winning touchdown pass on the 4-yard line and they don't give the ball to their quarterback who just put up 275 yards combined? Like,
Hey, it
Brees
worked.
Hall, that's crazy. Brees Hall is the only non-quarterback with a game-winning pass in the final 2 minutes of a fourth quarter over the last 20 years. Why wouldn't you give it to your guy who just put up great numbers the entire game?
They showed that play when Curtis Martin did it for them. I don't have a problem with that. Like do whatever. This is the kind of team that they need that kind of spunk. They need that kind of fire.
Yeah.
And
I know.
Brees Hall was having that kind of day. Brees
He
Hall was having
was.
one of those kind of days that okay, he can run it or throw it. Let's just give it to him. And I like that confidence. Think what kind of coach you have to have that confidence in that time to trust that running back to do this play. Like, look, we're gonna do this. Like, we don't care. We're trying to win this game. We're doing whatever we got to do. I like it. I like it, especially if I was on that team. I'd be like, F yeah, like F yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, I
You don't
wouldn't
think
be.
Justin Fields took it a little personally? Like, man, I've been having a good day. I don't get to throw the game winner.
If he had a bad game, he probably would have, but he played exceptionally well. He played
Yeah.
exceptionally well on every no turnovers, played good. I can't see him really coming from that game saying, "Oh, I should have had that pass." Like, no, like either way, I wouldn't even pass it then. So them passing it, period, was amazing to me. I
Yeah.
ran that thing with Brees the whole time. So I think it was a good play call. I give him credit because they were thinking just like you were thinking. Okay, they gave it to Brees, they didn't give it to him. So it was a good thing if
Yeah.
you think about it like that. So it was a good
I
play.
just I just feel like Justin kind of deserved like the little like gold star on his chart. Like, here, get
He got
another
a huge
touchdown.
goal.
Throw the
Trust me,
game winner, baby.
he got a huge goal star this game just from winning this game. Like the slap in the face that Woody got now from that win and Justin playing balls out, like just great coming back from like being down.
Mhm.
You cannot take anything. We know he got, but the only thing about that, like they tell you, don't put it on film. You put it on film. We seeing what you can do, damn it. So you can't.
Yeah.
There's no excuses now. You can't
No
go
more
back to
excuses.
yeah. You can't go back to the first 6 games now. Shit.
Maybe we just need to treat Justin Fields like Baker Mayfield and just talk a little bit of shit just to fire him up because it seemed to work.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
not?
he played great. A great catch by Mason Taylor on that throw. It wasn't a perfect pass, but it was a great catch with a defender in his face. And Fields is just happy to get the win, and another opportunity to start after the owner publicly throws him under the bus. And I like how he called the comments. He said they were outside noise. They're like, well, it came from your team owner. And he's like, no, that's just outside noise. I kind of like it. It was a little shot back. Um, but good for Fields, big win. Good for the Jets to get a win, incredible fashion, to pull that off, a big comeback win, 39-38. And I agree with Abe. The Bengals, are no slouch. Defensively, they might be, not that great, but like they just beat the Steelers. They're very capable of throwing up a lot of points. So big win for the Jets. And they can now take this positive momentum into their bye week, work on some things, and come out in week 10 ready to go and get that second win, get on a winning streak. So good vibes all around for the Jets. Isaiah Davis with a big game. Um, and they did this without Garrett Wilson and without Sauce Gardner. Me and Amanda thought the Jets had no shot in this game without those key players, but they played pretty well and got it done. So good job, Jets. The Browns at the Patriots. The Browns jump out to a 7-3 lead. It's only 9-7 at halftime, but the Patriots come out in the second half and pull away to win 32-13. Abe, your career high is what? 4 sacks. You had 4 sacks in a game in 2001 at the Saints while you were on the Jets. Myles Garrett with 5 sacks in this game in a losing effort, though. Do you think that takes a little bit of the joy out of the 5 sack performance, or do you think he's still, feeling it?
No, it hurts. It hurts. Losing and having it because that game was horrible. I don't know if you watched it, but they had nothing going on at all on offense. Defense, besides him, was not playing well. That game was horrible. Like I would feel good because that's my, yeah, you're gonna have that, but it's hard to get crump when you like my sack game. I end up winning. Like if we would have
Yeah,
lost the game, it wouldn't have been. It's like that's the highlight of your career. You're getting like 5 sacks, but if you watch the sacks, it was just like the pocket falling down. He's in the right place a couple times. A couple of sacks, he really did beat the guys, but a couple of sacks, May just held the ball a little longer. He was in the right place at the right time. But think about being on a team that I remember in college, I lost 21 straight games. It was hard to feel good about it. Like the numbers didn't really matter. I didn't care about how many sacks I had because I'm like, I want to win. Like, and think
yeah,
about it, he turned down and came back and took a big contract so they could stay. And it's like, put Shador in. I like Shador, or give me a fighting chance, or do something that makes sense. I know Gabriel, they trying to stick with him, and I think Shador had a back issue going on, so he really couldn't play that game. But it's like it's a certain point that I'm not trying to. I want to get everybody an opportunity, but Gabriel is not the guy. I mean,
yeah,
creating turnovers and doing certain things. It's not even like it seems stupid now. It just seems stupid now. Like just throw somebody else in there. Go get Kirk Cousins. We don't need him. Get somebody else. Get anybody in there because it's not Gabriel's team. It's not going to be his team. You can see that. Like the team doesn't reflect from him. Like it's not giving the same energy, man. Sometimes you just need a new energy thing in there.
yeah,
I just don't feel like it's going to be a fair shot for him as a quarterback who still needs developed. Like he's not an instant start rookie. He's not someone who can come in there and CJ Stroud and just immediately be successful. So it's not working. Like don't ruin his career. Don't ruin his confidence by keeping him in games that they're going to lose. But Myles Garrett has got to be so frustrated because he's so competitive and they just
yeah.
like they didn't win this one and he put so much personal effort in. Like, do you think he like went home and logged into his bank account to make himself feel a little bit better? Like, oh, okay. All right, we're good.
Well, and I think it's time to put Shador in very soon here, and that's the type of move that can. Right now, everything's stale and things aren't going well, and Dylan Gabriel's not playing well. If you put Shador in, who showed flashes in the preseason, and the locker room feels like he provides a higher upside than Dylan Gabriel is right now. I think everyone, the fans included, want to see Shador get a shot, see him get out there, make some plays. But it's not a good roster. I mean, whoever the quarterback is throwing to pretty much all rookies.
Yeah.
So, but I
Um,
agree. Push Shador in there.
Yeah, you got rid of Flacco, so it's kind of like you're throwing the season away anyway. So just
Yeah.
yeah.
And I haven't been a fan of Dylan Gabriel. I swear Shador will come in and provide a spark and do some good things. He might turn the ball over a little bit here and there, but he's going to make some plays. He's not afraid to throw the ball down the field and get it done. But on the other side, Amanda, Drake May is playing at an MVP level. He's absolutely balling. Um, it's crazy to see the Patriots doing so well so quickly. Mike Vrabel came in, completely turned this culture around, and Drake May is just tearing it up.
It's got to be so annoying to be in that division and be like, oh, thank God Brady's gone. We can
Yeah.
relax. Like it can be our time. And then this team starts doing this, and you're like, are you kidding me? Come on. Like it's
Yeah.
gotta be.
Welcome to being a Bears fan. That's what Green Bay does
Yeah.
every time.
I don't really have a lot of room to talk, do I? Yeah.
No, not at all. So let's go to Giants at Eagles. The Eagles jump out to a 24-10 lead and win 38-20. But Amanda, the officiating in this game was terrible. So many bad calls.
So many bad calls, but what a shitty day to be a Giants player, a Giants fan in general. I mean, you have a clear fumble recovery in a tush push, which is already not being officiated correctly anyway, and then you lose your star running back with a
Yeah.
very gruesome leg injury. Like the close-up views when he picked his leg up and his foot is just dangling there, like that was horrific. I feel so bad for the kid. And just the vibes were just getting going in New York. Like, what
Yeah.
a horrible turnaround coming into this game, riding high. Like, him and Jackson Dart, their chemistry is so good, so much excitement on that team. And then just to come out of this, fighting against the refs the entire game, and then to lose your star rookie, like, ugh, what a rough day.
It just seemed like one giant kicking the balls in this game, Abe. I mean, you lose Malik Neighbors for the season. Cam Scadaboo is providing so much life and excitement. He goes down. Then on top of that, you've got all these bad officiating, the fumble and the tush push, the offensive pass interference on Darius Slayton, which was terrible. Like Giants fans have got to be just pissed off right now.
Well, if I'm Philly, I'm a little pissed off too, though, because you seen how Barkley was having a day. He probably would have put up about 200 yards rushing that day, but he ended up, having a little groin injury. So, you got to be a devil advocate on both sides of the ball. I think both teams are going to have, not having AJ playing extremely well, finally getting Saquon to look like Saquon again, having a, career day out there just running against his old team and him getting injured is also something that is going to be something they got to look into because AJ's not back. They're going to have to get the other running back ready. So it's a lot of stuff going on, but definitely with the tush push, I think everybody saw that was a blatant just disregard of what really is football. Because if that would have been a goal line and he crossed the goal line sticking the ball out, that's different. But he was going for a first down. Because if that would have been a goal line and he was short and he stuck the ball out late, it'd have been a touchdown. You can't call it. But you talking about just
Yeah.
reaching for a first down and he knocked the ball out of his hand, an obvious turnover, and you're going to say it was a end of. You can't. No, that's not because I mean that makes no sense. Like I said,
Yeah.
if he was going for a touchdown, yeah, it crossed the line. Okay, I understand, but no, he was literally off the ground, laying on one of his players,
Mhm.
sticking the ball out. He made a great job getting the ball out, and it's just like you don't give these guys credit for that. So that was a very bad call. Even though they probably still would have lost the game, but it's just like and in that instance, is something that got to be done.
Yeah, you just don't want it to be controversial in a win. Like that's how I
Right.
feel
Yeah.
about the Dallas Green Bay tie. Like if we're gonna tie, fine. But I just don't like that there were some calls in the game that you're like, ugh, I don't want to be talking about the referee calls. I want to be talking about what my team did wrong, what we can do better. I don't want it to come down to some really big plays that should have gone the other way that might have affected the momentum of the game. Like I just don't think that's fair to players. Have you guys seen any updates about the Saquon Barkley injury? Because all I saw was his interview in which he just repeated that he didn't know and no, I'll be fine. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm good. I've dealt with this before. He was very vague, so I haven't seen anything about a
I think it was just a groin
timeline.
injury. I think it was just a groin.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything massive. I think a couple of weeks probably, and hopefully
Okay.
get him back. 2 to 3 weeks. I would hope. But especially on that tush push play, like you mentioned, Abe, they always allow for it's a slow developing and they let them keep pushing and keep going forward. You cannot call that play dead so quickly. Like, come on now, that's absolutely ridiculous. I don't blame Giants one bit for being pissed off about that. Some good news for Philly, though, is running back Tank Bigsby, who they traded for from Jacksonville, looked decent. filling in for Saquon. So if Saquon does have to miss some time, hopefully Tank Bigsby can fill in and keep things going. And yeah, they need to get AJ Brown back as soon as possible. Um, and they're going on their bye week, so that's an extra week for Saquon to get ready. Amanda, let's talk about the Buffalo Bills at Carolina. Andy Dalton getting the start. Um, we didn't know really what to think because Carolina's run game has been so impactful the last couple of weeks, but the Bills threw the reverse card out there and beat them with their running game. James Cook absolutely goes off, and they blow out the Panthers, put up 40 points on them.
So the thing that was most decisive in this game for me, like the biggest difference maker, is Buffalo's defense showed up. And we've seen
Yeah.
some games over the past 2 seasons where they just rely on the offense. Like, oh, Josh will put up enough points, and the defense just kind of seems like they're not really putting as much effort in as their, guns blazing offense. They're not getting him enough plays. They're not handing the ball off to him enough. I mean, I think they've been listening because he had every opportunity here, and they took full advantage of that. 216 yards, 2 touchdowns, over 19 runs. I'm glad they're getting him involved because he deserves way more touches because he's up there with the best running backs in the league. But if you don't give him the ball, he's not going to put up the numbers.
Yeah, the defense stepped up, played really well, contained Carolina's run game, and James Cook. I've said it before. You guys kind of laughed at me because we know how great Josh Allen is, but James Cook is a key to that offense. If you get him involved along with Josh Allen, they're just so hard to defend, right, Abe?
No, guaranteed. But also, this just shows like the NFC South is just so terrible. Besides Tampa Bay, you don't know what you're going to get, man. Like it's hard to watch football because me playing in the NFC South and me being a part of it for so long and seeing like I was there when the Saints were great. I was there when Tampa was decent. I was there when Carolina had Cam. So and watching them now is just like I don't know what's going on in the NFC South. It used to be a fight for who was the best team in the NFC South. Now Tampa
Yeah.
is pushing it so far. Like the last 4 years, they've just been that team. And it's sad because you spend a lot of money on the quarterback. And the quarterback's really not the guy you think he is right now. And I think even with Chuba Herbert, I think they're gonna have to sit him and let old boy be the starter. I mean, I understand they like a guy and they want to keep him in the game, but when the other guy's in, he's putting up yards. He only had like 8 carries for 54 yards. I mean, and think if he had all those carries, it might have been a bigger thing. Not saying you'll win the game, but killing this guy's numbers, making this guy looking like he's not that guy. But when you have a guy that's the team's guy and they love the guy, they rarely going to try to get. They're going to try to do as much as possible to keep him on the team. But sometimes it's just like about being smart. This guy's not high right now. He hasn't put up these numbers. Let's change this. And I think that's what's wrong with the NFC South right now. Everybody in the NFC South is just hard. They just hard. I'm gonna coach this way. I'm gonna keep this guy in. I'm gonna do this running play. I am stuck with this. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm not changing anything. If we lose, we lose. And it's not like they're losing. Like look at the receiving yards from the guys that supposed to be big names. He's like 40 yards here, 30 yards here. It's nothing explosive. Like no explosive plays on that. So it's hard to be on a good team with no explosion.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think that division is too loyal to their veteran players. Like the way they keep them involved and they keep getting them touches. But if you look at how much more efficient Rico Dowdle is with his, I mean, like you said, 8 carries for 54 yards. You look at Hubbard, 12 carries for 34 yards. Like he's
Hmm.
so much less efficient. He's not getting as much yardage. Give it to the guy who's going to be more productive. I know you like your veterans, you want to keep them involved, you want to keep them happy, but if the younger guys are getting the job done,
Yeah. A great sign for Buffalo. They snapped their 2-game losing streak. They blow them out. They put, their defense looks great. The offense looks great. And Amanda, this is perfect timing with the Chiefs coming to town next week. If the Bills can be on their best brand of football and get that win, that losing streak is going to be well out of their rearview mirror, and they're going to be much more optimistic and thinking Super Bowl once again if they can beat Kansas City next week.
yeah, I'm glad the bye week and the mindset shift was able to happen before this Chiefs matchup because I didn't want to see 3 weeks ago Buffalo with Kansas City
Yeah.
coming to town. Nobody wants that matchup. We want them both firing on all cylinders. We want a good matchup. We don't want Buffalo like discombobulated, not being competitive with the Chiefs. Nobody wants to see that on TV. again.
Yeah,
We've seen it before. Nobody wants to see that.
and the Panthers are bringing their two running backs. We'll see if Bryce Young plays at Green Bay next week. So you'll get a nice view of the Panthers and see if you can slow that run game.
I want Andy Dalton to play. He wants to come throw an interception or two, throw a couple picks. I'd be down with that. Bring Dalton to Green Bay. We'll take it.
Of course, you want Dalton to play, just
Yeah.
like you loved it when Dalton was on the Bears.
He was so
His best
fun.
days
I love him.
are.
I love me a ginger. I don't know if you know this, but I have a soft spot for gingers, especially ones who throw to my team when they should be throwing to their.
Yeah, that's the key right there, is the throw in the picks. Abe, my Chicago Bears, they come in on a 4-game win streak. The Ravens on a 4-game losing streak. No Lamar Jackson, and yet the Bears can't get it done. They lose 30-16 to the Ravens. Uh, the Bears inexplicably feeling themselves on a 4-game winning streak decided to troll the Ravens. The Ravens took their ping pong and their games out of the locker room, and the Bears are trolling about that on their social media. Well, you go to Baltimore and get beat by 2 touchdowns. What are my Bears thinking?
It was Huntley, man. Huntley game, and he gave the right explosion that you didn't really miss Lamar Jackson as much with Huntley. He played exceptionally well. He played smart football, and the Ravens defense finally played like the Ravens defense is supposed to play. You saw a
Yep.
different type team out there. You like even when you can see the sidelines. If you watch the sidelines, you saw excitement like all the way down the sideline. You know they did a good job getting Derrick Henry in the game, and he was able to run the ball. Didn't have 100 yards, but he's Derrick Henry. Like controlling the
Mhm.
clock me when you have your star players out, being able to control the clock, like I said with the Falcons, they would have ran the ball. Even if they lost that game, it would have been a closer game because you would have kept Miami off the field because the defense wasn't playing well. As a coach, you got to see that, okay, my defense is not stopping. This is Miami. Like Miami doesn't have these star players right now. They have so many people hurt right now, and their offense is moving down the field for us. Let's run the ball. Let's keep this clock low, but maybe we can like get something popping off. Like, and just as a player, you know that like we can't stop these guys. Let's keep the ball on offense because on defense we're not doing anything, and that's what you got to do. And I think they did a great job of that. And Baltimore looked like they're supposed to. And I think what is Lamar will be back next week? I'm not sure, but
Yes.
he'll be coming back. He'll be coming back in a good regime, a good and on a positive note. You know, and then they have a secure in a backup now. Like this is our backup. Some have Lamar, and we're throwing him in. We're not going to go through the other guy no more. This is our guy now.
My
Amanda,
question,
I had a feeling this was coming.
my question is, what happened to Chicago's defense in this one? They were so bad. Like, I have nothing negative to say about Caleb Williams. He threw for over 309 yards. Like, your running game got going pretty well. Rome Odunze had 114 yards. DJ Moore was involved. Your defense is pretty much fully to blame for this loss. They absolutely did not make a single necessary stop in this game.
Well, injuries were part of it. So Jalen Johnson's on IR, our number one corner. Kyler Gordon was out. Tyreek Stevenson was out. So our secondary was decimated. I think we had 2 pressures in this game. That's it. Like we don't have a pass rush. So you're just asking for trouble. Derrick Henry got going a little bit. And Tyler Huntley fits that offense so much better than Cooper Rush. Tyler
Yeah.
Huntley can run like the Lamar Jackson offense. And they were able to get it done. But the Bears need to get back to the drawing board. Not a great performance from Caleb Williams. Defense didn't play well, so we'll see. We're at the Bengals in Week 9, but Abe, you mentioned it. Lamar Jackson back practicing fully. He's playing on Thursday night this week. Ravens against the Dolphins in Miami is a great opportunity for the Ravens to get on a little winning streak here with Lamar back healthy and maybe snowball this into, the Steelers have left that door open in the division. They're not running away with it, so maybe Baltimore can get back in it.
Yeah, they have to win this game. It's not even an if or an, but they got at least got to go 5 straight wins right now just to be even palpable of having the off season that they want to have because they played pretty bad so far for
Yeah.
this game. Like, and you're losing fans. You're losing a lot of people thinking that, are y'all good? This is the time we need to see the MVP type player out of that guy. We need to see Lamar Jackson showing why he's MVP. This should not even be close. This is Miami Dolphins. They are a horrible team. Even watching them, that's how bad the Falcons played, because I'm watching Miami and it looks like you see their route run, you see stuff like that. But then when they get confidence, though, you can't let them get confidence. But when they got confidence, that's when they start playing better. But you didn't see them react to the confidence. That's what you got to see in Baltimore. And I think Baltimore should handle this team pretty easy. But like we don't know what football is anymore. Much as we talk about football, we literally don't know football anymore.
That's how I feel this season. Alex has the lead. I don't know what I'm talking about. No one listened to me. Not a credible source anymore. I'm just, yeah.
Whatever. You still know football. I got tired of getting my ass kicked, so I finally had to put together a good season. I got a 1-game lead.
I like that you're saying it's a good season and everyone else is like, this season is so strange. You're like, I love this. I just pick randomly and it works out. Shut up, Alex.
Well, speaking of this, you did not see this one coming. I picked this one, but I wasn't super confident either. The Texans beating the 49ers, and quietly the Texans have won 3 of their last 4. Amanda, were you surprised at how well the Texans played in this game? They jump out to a 16-0 lead, win 26-15. The defense continues to play well for Houston, but C.J. Stroud, that's the best he's looked all season on Sunday.
Am I surprised that they play well? No. Am I annoyed that they haven't been playing like this all season? Yeah. There's so much talent on that team. We've seen them be successful. They haven't done enough. Like nothing majorly bad has happened to this team other than like one injury on offense. There's no excuses for them not to be playing like this every single week.
Well, and Abe, they've won 3 of the last 4 now after a really slow start. C.J. Stroud's starting to play better, and he did this without Nico Collins, without Christian Kirk. He's throwing to pretty much rookies. A nice, solid performance from C.J., and that's got to give Texans fans hope for the future here.
Well, the defense made Christian McCaffrey look like a normal person. That's what you got to do. Atlanta wasn't able to do that, and San Francisco came and just stomped all on them. And Mac Jones is Mac Jones. He's going to do what he has to do. I don't think San Francisco really played bad. I just think Texas played up to what they were supposed to play. I don't think it was any kind of magic here. I think the Texans are supposed to beat them. This is a game that we're supposed to be talking about. We were talking about regular NFL, like how we usually talk last year and years prior. We were totally, this wouldn't have been, I thought about it, like, you look at the numbers at 5-2 against 2-4. You thinking, oh yeah, the 5-2 teams won. This is the different NFL. Let's see who the better player. And I think this is the epitome of matchups. When we're talking about matchups in football, this year is just showing like it don't matter how good the team is. How good is that player against that player? Like it could be thing in the trenches that we're not seeing. Like this D tackle could be whooping this guard ass every game, and we just not noticing. But it literally just feels like this line is better than this line this week, and this quarterback is playing better than this quarterback, because there's nothing consistent on a team level. When we look at the teams, we can't say this team is better than this team. We literally have to go all the way down and say this matchup is better than this matchup. This is who's going to win.
Yeah.
But we don't have time to do that because that's not how football is played. We're looking at a whole team, and your team is 5-2. It shouldn't be an issue against a 2-4 Texas team, but you look at the matchups. The matchups just didn't work right. The rookie receivers showed up. Like that's what I'm saying. That's why this year is so confusing.
Well, and Amanda, you had talked about that's the reason you picked the 49ers, banking on Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle. The Texans defense did a great job of limiting them.
Yeah, their one-on-one matchups played out so well in this one. Not a single player with over 70 yards on offense. They did a great job.
Yeah. The 49ers trade with the Patriots and bring in defensive end Keon White. So we'll see maybe, some depth. That'll help. They've had so many injuries. So good move for the 49ers there. We'll see if that helps them going forward. Texans play the Broncos next week. The Texans, playing better, and we'll get a much better feel on who this Texans team is against a very good Broncos team next week. So looking forward to that matchup. Abe, the Bucks at the Saints, 7-3 at halftime, but Tampa Bay pulls away to win 23-3. And I know you're, rooting for Spencer Rattler, fellow Gamecock, but he's been struggling, and the quickest way to, get benched is all those turnovers. You just can't turn the ball over at that high of a rate.
Well, first of all, they always told me it's about being honest. And if you want to be a commentator, if you want to break down football, it don't matter if you like the person or not. As long as you're being
Yeah.
truthful, they can't talk trash about you. He's been playing trash. I mean, just being honest, the Saints team just looks like a delusion of football out there. Like nothing looks right. Like we were just talking about that interception he threw was just like, if I'm a head coach, if I'm Kellen Moore, I'm just like, yeah, that's time. Let's go ahead and get him. Like we've seen so much of these plays. We went on this play. Everybody knows throw it out of bounds or throw it. The guy's like 6'9", and you're trying to throw it over him. Like, bro, like putting Tyler in was not even better. It's like,
yeah.
And this is my point. I wish that Kamara was more of an every down back, like, and they can like really create a running game, and then the quarterback doesn't have to be so necessary. They're like y'all got to get over that y'all don't have Drew Brees anymore. Like everybody wants to throw the ball and everything. Let's get a running game. Let's see if we can get this guy 1,000 yards 1 year in his career because he's never had it, and that was amazing to me, and I'm still amazed that it hasn't. But try to do a running game. Y'all have so many weapons. They still have the same guys. They still have that diesel quarterback in the back. Like use these guys y'all have. Y'all not using what y'all have, and it's just hard to watch. Like even I don't mess with the Aints like that. But at the same time, when I'm watching football, we want to see a good football game. I don't want the Bucks beating up on the Saints. I don't like either one of these teams. I would have loved the Saints to beat the Bucks. If the Saints beat the Bucks, and I'm like, yeah. So then Atlanta is so far down now, but it's like this is the kind of stuff I like to see. I like this, like these are the kind of games that we should. This one, Amanda need to get her golden coin out and flip it and see who's going to win. But it's not even like that. Like Tampa is just stomping on everybody, just like literally just stomping all over the South, and it looks so bad. And like I said, it's not what I'm used to because when I played, every game was just like yes, yes, yes. Now you're looking like okay, how bad is Tampa going to beat them today? All right.
Yeah.
I'm surprised yeah, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, I'm surprised we've been talking about this game as long as we have because like it went as expected. But I will
Right.
say that pick six was the most offensive, like bad, just rudest pick six I've ever seen in my life. Like horrible throw, but he just ran straight through the quarterback. He's like, "Oh, you want to throw the
Yeah.
ball to me on the 6 yard line? Okay, little man." And he just trucks straight through the quarterback, lays him out, and just scores on him. Like, oh, it was so mean. It felt like if you have younger siblings and you played a game of pickup with them, you're like, oh, yeah, it just fucking laid him out. I felt so bad for Rattler on that play. The disrespect, man.
Well, Abe, if you remember, we go back to the offseason when we were previewing this division, and I said the Saints are going to be the worst team in football. They're not coached well. I don't trust Kellen Moore at all. I don't trust their quarterback situation. Spencer Rattler has shown signs of potential. He's made some plays throughout the year. But what's even more discouraging is you put in Tyler Shuck, and he doesn't look any better. Like, a couple garbage time touchdowns or a couple deep throws, something to give the Saints fans hope. But there's just nothing there. I don't see Tyler Shuck having a bright future in the NFL. Until the Saints find, I just think they need a complete rebuild. They're still trying to hang on to these veterans, and they just need to completely rebuild. And I don't know. They need a quarterback. They need a head coach. They need so many things right now. And they are truly the Aints this year.
Oh, they can stay. They can stay exactly how they are in my eyes. I don't care. Like,
Abe likes him like this. That's
and,
kind
and,
of how I
and,
feel about Chicago being bad. I'm like, no, they
yeah,
don't need Caleb Williams to be good. Like, they can still be
and
bad.
I hate to sound like this, but I'm being totally honest. I don't give a damn about that black and gold. Like, I really don't. Like, I like watching Tampa play because me and Todd Bowles have like a little history. And Carolina, I don't really, I'm from South Carolina, so I'm used to Carolina. But the Saints, though, I give it. If the Saints go back to the '80s, the early '80s, '90s, what we were used to, when they just fumbling the ball everywhere, doing all kind of trash stuff, I have no issue with that. I have no problem with that.
You like
Uh,
the pre-Drew Brees Saints.
There you go. Exactly. So I don't care.
Amanda, get your bear shots in while you can. Just remember that we have the second most championships in NFL history.
You know,
We have the second most wins in NFL history.
so
You're
I
thinking of
just
the Lions, is who you're thinking about, just because they're good
no
these last couple of years.
circle back. You can't say championships because before they were called
Yeah,
Super Bowls, there was like 7 teams. That shit
you
doesn't count.
you guys claim like 10 of them things.
I don't talk about that. I only talk about our Super Bowls.
Packer fans do. Packer fans
No.
claim all them championships. So does Alabama, Notre
Listen,
Dame. Let's go to Cowboys at Broncos. Broncos jump out to a 27-10 halftime lead and win 44-24. Amanda, we had talked about this game being, competitive, but Denver really hit on all cylinders and kicked their ass.
can I just say, Dallas has been putting up almost 40 points a week. This is the best defense they've faced all season. Yes, I know they played
Yeah.
my team. We didn't defense at all in that game. This they played so well. They matched up so well. But I like to talk a lot of shit about Dallas. Dallas can't beat Green Bay at home. Green Bay has never lost at AT&T Stadium. Have you guys looked at the matchup between Denver and Dallas? Denver has won the last 8 games that they've played together.
Is
Like, what a weird, lopsided matchup. Like, they don't play that often. It's not like they butt heads very often, but that's so strange.
Well, and Abe, Bo Nix outplays Dak Prescott in this game. I don't know how many people saw that coming, but he 4 touchdowns and Dak 0 touchdowns, 2 picks.
Well, I think first of all, they was patting Dak on the back too much before the game. 4 games straight of 3 touchdowns. It was like, oh yeah, he's up there with the guys. He's this, this, and this. He comes out, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Also, I think having CD back takes away from his spreading the ball out like it was prior. Like and like last week was good. CD had an amazing game, but look, you got 14 passes that went between 2 players. And we don't even I don't even know how many times he tried to throw to him, but it's just like the other spread out was a lot better. Look, you've seen the running backs balls, you see other people getting balls, but I think when you have CD in there, it's a different type thing. Like, okay, I got to find CD. I got to find CD. They have plays strictly for him, and I think that kind of took him out of the game plan when he was just shucking the ball out to whoever was open. I think he had to think more now. Okay, so Pickens is not my main guy now. Let me go to CD, and I think it kind of slowed his process of how he was playing the game. I think that showed, and I think like I say, I think and sometimes when people get too much of this, the pat on the back, they get a little too comfortable and they come and like you said, Denver defense played exceptionally well, and if Denver and we know the Cowboys defense can't hold water. They got
Yeah.
lucky, and especially when they're down, you can see the thing just inflates. And not saying they can't make a comeback, but this game was over with.
And I think, Amanda, one of the big factors for why Denver's playing so much better football this year is their 2 running backs, J.K. Dobbins and rookie R.J. Harvey. And Harvey goes for 3 touchdowns in this game. He's really starting to come on.
Yeah, I think they've been doing okay with one solid running back, but they need that second option on the ground. And I mean, it just shows like if you look at their numbers here, like J.K. Dobbins had 111 yards, but when it comes to those obvious plays where the defense would think they're going to hand it to their running back one, they hand it to two, which is why he has all the touchdowns for less than half the yards. But I think they're doing a great job on offense, but this defense is just so good. I mean, there's only 2 teams that have 2 guys in the top 10 rankings in NFL for sacks. Nick Bodino has 8, Jonathan Cooper has 6. Like this defense is so freaking good this year.
Yeah, and I gotta give a shout. I gotta give a shout out to Sean Payton for making the right decision. Whether we knew it or not, they paid all the money to Russ, and they thought that was the guy, and he saw something different. I know it didn't turn out, and it looks like nasty how it ended up. But watching how Bo Nix played, he made a good choice as a coach.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Sean Payton knows what he likes. He's not afraid to draft somebody ahead of where the consensus thinks that fits his system, it fits his offense. He's going to take them and get the most out of them. So credit to Sean Payton. Big win for the Broncos.
But a big loss with
Um,
Patrick Surtain suffering a pectoral injury. They think he might be headed to IR, missing a few weeks, so that's really going to suck for them.
yeah, but to their credit, Riley Moss has been playing well, and the rookie Jahdae Barron with an interception in this game. So, they're doing a good job of building depth as well. Real quick, the Colts blow out the Titans 38-14. And Amanda, I know this never happens. I'm going to go ahead and change the name of this award from the MVP award to the MVQB, Most Valuable Quarterback, because Jonathan Taylor is going absolutely crazy. Saquon Barkley did last year, but they get no love in the MVP conversation, and I think he should be the front runner right now.
I think there needs to be a most valuable quarterback and a most valuable overall player. Like it's
Yeah.
not fair that it always goes to a quarterback because I mean, since Adrian Peterson, we haven't seen anyone, and we've had some huge seasons by players in other positions, but the quarterbacks get all the press, the quarterbacks get all the accolades, and there needs to be a secondary award because I mean, Saquon deserved it last year. Jonathan Taylor so far this season absolutely deserves it. And I mean, Baker Mayfield's play has fallen off a little bit, so I wouldn't be putting him up as my front runner right now. But Jonathan Taylor, I mean, his numbers are absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, he's going crazy, Abe. And if you can remember a couple of years ago, it wasn't that long ago when they were trying to say Jonathan Taylor wasn't worth the money. And now look at him, an MVP candidate. They're saying the same thing about Saquon Barkley. It just goes to show the right situation, the right fit, and these running backs can be the best weapons on the field, you know?
Well, just like anything, whether you carrying a Gucci purse or you carrying a Van Dutch purse, which one costs more? Which one more expensive? That's the one you're gonna look for. So, like, it's all about you paying somebody $40 million. Yeah, he's gonna be my guy. I'm gonna talk about whether you have a great running back or not. Like you said with Saquon, he got the offensive MVP, but then the quarterback got the MVP of the whole league. And I don't understand how you can get the offensive MVP, but you don't get
Yeah,
the full MVP. Like that's weird to
yeah,
me. Like if you get the MVP of that, but you don't get the MVP, like so all these little strange new things they got going on is cool. But and as y'all saying, like a quarterback MVP, that's called All Pro. That's first team All Pro. That is the MVP to me. Because like when you get All Pro or one All Pro, that means you're the best at that position. So that's pretty much the MVP to me when you get All Pro. So that's like with every position you get an All Pro stamp. So that is kind of like the MVP for me when it comes to stuff like that. When they name you All Pro, that means you're the best at position.
that's why we call you All Pro Abe, right?
Yes, sir.
Amanda, is anyone going to slow down this Colts team? They're rolling. They got the best record in the NFL. Daniel Jones keeps it rolling. No turnovers once again. Um, but they play at the Steelers next week. Steelers 2-game losing streak. Someone's got to beat this team eventually.
Uh, I mean, the Steelers are so beatable right now. I don't think, I mean, at home, I feel like the Steelers are so butthurt this week after you could hear on the broadcast, "Go Pack, Go" chants the entire
Yeah,
game. We caught Aaron Rodgers on a hard snap count because he couldn't hear, like his guys couldn't hear him in Pittsburgh. Like the Steelers are so beatable right now. I think the Colts are a better team than Green Bay, so I don't think that their first loss is going to be Pittsburgh. But I mean, their schedule coming up, they've got some fun matchups. I mean, they're going to Kansas City in a few weeks. Texans are coming to town.
yeah,
Uh,
it gets tougher.
yeah, well, it gets tougher, and then they play like the Jags and
Hey, Jags
49ers.
are gonna win that. Don't hate on Jacksonville.
So I don't want
Um,
to I don't want to say it's getting better. They get to play the Falcons and the Jags. So let's
Look, Amanda, if the Packers play like they did on Sunday night, give me the Packers over the Colts all day. Green Bay, they started out slow. They're down 16-7 at halftime, but that second half was crazy. Jordan Love, that's the best I've seen Jordan Love look in a while, the second half.
They looked really good. I was very silent the first half and very in my feelings because I know the team is better than that. But there
Yeah.
have been so many games this season where they only play the second half, or you only see the offense going off and the defense is lax, or the defense is going off, the Browns game, and the offense does nothing. There's been two games this season where both offense and defense have played well for the Packers for all four quarters. And I mean, obviously we won, so I'm happy here. Green Bay looked great, but I gotta shout out the refs real quick here because there was one touchdown where the Steelers man came down with the ball, took 5 steps, and they were debating whether it was a touchdown. It
Yeah.
was your fucking touchdown. Two of our guys jumped offsides. I think it was the second quarter, maybe third quarter,
Yeah.
and there was no flag. And then they debated if there should be a flag and then didn't call it. We were so far offsides. Like we were on top of their center, and they were like, "No, never mind." The
That's
officiating is so bad, and I we would have won the game without those two little chats or conversations that happened, but I don't want officiating to affect the outcome of the game and for people to be talking about the officiating versus the gameplay.
Well, these days there's going to be a call or two in almost every game where the officiating messes something up. That's just how it is this year and lately. But there was some missed calls on both sides, and the Steelers just didn't show up in the second half, Abe, and it's really starting to be an issue. You look at how much money is on that Steelers defense, and they're not
Highest
playing
paid
up to it.
defense.
Yeah,
Highest
they're not
paid
playing up
defense
to
in
it
the
at
league.
all.
That's insane.
What do you
Well,
think? Is it too many veterans or what?
no, I just think that this is a game they supposed to lost. I mean, like, I'm just being realistic. We're putting so much emphasis on the money and all this stuff and everything like that. That ain't got nothing to do with it. There were two good teams playing, and there was small plays here and there. This could have been a reverse game. Like Green Bay played well, but I'm looking like either one of these teams could have won. You know, a couple of bad throws here and
If
there.
DK, if DK had caught that one pass
Falcons?
right at
Yeah,
the end, Aaron Rodgers was real happy about him not catching that.
yeah.
Yeah, the
So
uh
it
the
was.
lip reading.
This is a good game. This is like what football's supposed to look like. Two good quarterbacks going against each other. I don't think anybody, unless you're like a fan, like anybody could be mad at a 41-year-old quarterback going out there and playing his ass off against his old team. And even if they lost the game, and it wasn't too decisive. It wasn't like this team just. I think there are two good teams. And it would be amazing if we was to see these guys in the Super Bowl. This would be like that would be an instant classic, as you say. Now,
That's
that would be
Alex's Super Bowl matchup. He picked him
that
at the beginning of the
that
season.
would that would make a lot of sense because how they played, I could see the game switching. Just one run here, a different play here, a quarterback turnover here. But I don't think it has anything to do with that. I don't see anything lacking on either one of those squads. I think that was a good game for me to watch.
Yeah. And I just have to give a quick shout out. It was National Tight Ends Day. Tucker Kraft won by a freaking landslide. That was his award for the day. His stats, I mean, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, 7 receptions. He smoked everybody else in that conversation for that day. Great game for him. One other thing I gotta talk about. DK Metcalf, you guys know that I wanted him so bad to come to Green Bay in the draft. Why is he trying his damnedest to be worse than George Pickens? The Steelers got rid of Pickens, and now they have somebody more expensive who isn't playing as well and who is still doing the same dumb stuff, fighting the eye poking, the stuff like that, and getting bad penalties called against the team at key moments.
Well, I think it'll help get a lot more production out of DK Metcalf to bring in someone. If I'm the Steelers, I make a call. I trade for Jalen Waddle from the Dolphins. I think you put him opposite DK Metcalf, and that opens so much more things up for that offense. I think they're missing one piece, and that's a number two receiver. I like Roman Wilson. I like, was it Ben Skowronek and these guys, but get another, Jalen Waddle would be perfect. And my expert analysis of this game, the reason why the Steelers lost, because of those ugly ass jerseys. What are you wearing?
You know what they looked like? They looked like Bane was about to come blow up the stadium again. They looked like the one from the Dark Knights. That's exactly what it looked like.
So
What I'm annoyed
gross.
about, we want to talk about jerseys. So the Steelers did the old school throwback with the brown pants. Green Bay's wearing theirs next week. And I'm like, you guys should have coordinated. Like if we're gonna go brown pants on both teams.
What I wanted is just go regular. Just wear the Packers, regular jerseys and the Steelers regular. That's so much better.
Like the green and gold and the black. Yeah,
Yeah,
it would have been
for
nice.
sure.
I don't know
But
what those jerseys were so ugly. But
yeah,
Jordan Love had 20 straight completions, something Aaron Rodgers never did. So
that's
that's
crazy.
cool for him. I am a little bummed that Evan Williams and Xavier McKinney were like placing bets and having arguments about who was going to get a pick off Aaron Rodgers, and there were no interceptions in this game. So
Yeah.
a little sad for them because that would have been fun, like against their old teammate, but dang it.
And Rashawn Gary should be happy that Michael came.
Oh,
Even
so much.
even if
Yeah,
it, even if it was just a push for him to play better or whatever, you shouldn't need someone to come take your position. If you was playing like this the whole years before, you had years to put up these kind of numbers. Now you're putting them up now, and you're feeling like, oh, y'all had to go get somebody. Y'all had me. That's what I think he's trying to prove. But he also got to understand the reason why you're getting all these sacks is because of Parsons. They're worrying about him. They're not worrying about you. And it's a tough pill to swallow. And it might help him get some more money somewhere else. But I don't know if he might not be there next year. But I mean, he's playing exceptionally well. But also, he's going to have to give Micah like a lot of that credit, like because
Yeah.
they have the camera on him. He's lined up in the middle. He's lined up out here, and he's kind of like doing what he got to do. So they got to give much respect to Michael for that.
Yeah, and I
yeah,
mentioned the Broncos having two players leading in the top 10 with sack numbers. Nick Bonito has 8, Rashawn Gary has 7.5, Micah Parsons 6.5, and Jonathan Cooper has 6. Like they're all right there in a row. But I mean, Rashawn Gary is having a great year because Micah is there. But Micah has had the most quarterback pressures in this game of any player in the league this week. And I like
yeah,
that numbers are starting to reflect his production because he's been very helpful. He's been very productive, but all people see is the sack number. That's the only thing they care about, which irks the hell out of me because he's been so productive in other ways, throwing up blocks, allowing
yeah.
Sean Gary to get free, pulling double coverage. He has double team more than any defender on any other
Yeah,
team.
he's underrated against the run too. Like people act like he's just a pass rusher. That's why it was such a big deal when they traded for him because anyone that knows Micah knows he's just amazing and he's done so much for Green Bay already. So great trade for them, and we'll see if they can keep it rolling. Steelers trade with New England for safety Kyle Duggar after they placed safety Deshaun Elliott on IR. So but yeah, the Steelers need to make some moves at the trade deadline if they're serious about going on a deep playoff run this year. 2-game losing streak as it stands right now. Let's go to Monday Night Football. The 3-4 Commanders at the 4-3 Chiefs, and this game started sloppy, 7-7 at halftime. The first 5 possessions of this game, Amanda, all ended in turnovers. 3 interceptions and 2 turnovers on downs. I'm sure you were on the edge of your seat watching this first half.
This game was so ugly. I was complaining to you too. Like, you look at I mean, the first 5 possessions, guys, like only interceptions and turnovers and downs. How does somebody not break the trend? Like, oh, that didn't
Yeah,
work last time. Let's do something else. Like, it was hideous. I hated it.
I was
And then
loving it.
if the game had been the other way, like if Kansas City was getting trucked or something, it would have at least been interesting. But like
Yeah.
it was sloppy, it started super ugly, and then Kansas City beat the brakes off of them. Like there was nothing interesting or exciting about this game. I have nothing to say about it. Mariota is the lesser of the two quarterbacks. The Commanders team is missing too many people to be competitive. Nobody, I mean, their highest receiver had 54 yards. Their highest running back had 25. Like there's just nothing positive to say. Like nothing was interesting or surprising. Like do we need to talk about it? Kansas City's good, Commanders bad. The end.
Does it worry you, Abe, at all that the Chiefs have these moments of slow starts and turnovers and punts? And, like, is this just part of the process for them to get it all together and go on a deep playoff run, or do you think there are some actual issues with this team?
I think it just was a slow start on both sides of the ball. I think there was a lot of turnovers. It was a Monday night game. Sometimes, your whole presence is different on a Monday night game. You start different, you do everything different. It's later in the day. And if they didn't have Marcus Mariota, this game would have been way worse because if he wasn't able to run out of that pocket and try to get the ball out and try to do certain things, this game would have been good. This is the most I've seen pressure from the Chiefs defense in like forever. Like
Yeah.
56 was all over. Carunas, we was all over the place. And I'm looking like he could have had so many sacks. I'm looking like, dude, you got Jones like all over there. I'm looking like I ain't seen them rush the passer like this in forever. And it had nothing to do with them. It was just like their O line is shitty. And it just showed it was like, because it wasn't Mariota, like literally this game would have not been close.
Yeah, they couldn't rush the ball at all. Big game from Mike Dana with an interception and a sack. So, yeah, good win for the Chiefs. And the Commanders, they need Jaden Daniels back. And even with Jaden Daniels, this team is struggling a bit. So we'll see if Dan Quinn can get this team turned around and back in the hunt in the NFC East. But as it stands right now, they are 3-5 with the Seahawks coming to town in Week 9. So it doesn't get any easier. Real quick, let's preview Thursday Night Football Week 9. Can't wait for this matchup. I'm going to be really into this game for the Ravens side of it. It's a must-win for them. They're getting Lamar Jackson back. The 2-5 Ravens at the 2-6 Dolphins. Amanda, do you think the Ravens can get on a winning streak, get Lamar back, and maybe snowball this and get back? Because I think the Steelers missed out on a big opportunity to beat the Bengals, to beat the Packers, and have this division put away. Without those wins, they only have a 2-game lead right now, and the Ravens could catch them pretty easily.
I just have to say, the Ravens walked into a beautiful stretch of scheduling to have these injury issues. I mean, at the Dolphins, at Minnesota, at the Browns, Jets come to town. Like
Yeah,
that's an ideal time to be having quarterback issues and injury issues. Like get them sorted out now. Come week 10, 11, start your hot streak. Like they're fine.
yeah. And it all starts with Thursday night. You have to win that one over Miami. You think they get it done though with Lamar back? They should.
Yeah, if they lose to Miami, scrap everything I just said, their season's
Yeah.
over. Like no.
Yeah, they got to be hyped getting Lamar back, right, Abe?
Yeah, like I would say this should be one of these flex games. You know, they be flexing games. Like they should move them to Sunday and put somebody else on Thursday night. It's just 2-5 against 2-6, but this could be the resurgence of the Ravens team. So it does make sense now. It's two bad teams, but it's one team that just came off a good win against Atlanta, and Baltimore just came off a good win. So let's see which team is going to be better this week and which team is good now or which game is terrible now. Like it's kind of like whichever team loses is going to be
Yeah,
like team in the league. So if the Ravens
That's
lose,
their nail in the coffin. We'll put them
yeah,
down
it's
to
yeah,
like
the Saints. Yeah.
yeah, it's literally like you're just watching who's the worst of the worst and who's going to be better next. So it's kind of like a good game. Like you're thinking about it like that. It's two like teams that you, but it's two teams you want to watch though. It's just like you want to watch this game because you want to see if the Ravens are really that, and you want to see if the Dolphins or if they lose or are they like. Is he out now, or is he still there? You know, so it has a little character about it. This game like, actually has character about it.
I just want more depressed, drunk Uncle Mike Dan McDaniel interviews after the game. Like he is just his interviews are so bad. It looks like they just brought someone in from the street who's still drunk from last night's bender. Like he looks
yeah.
rough.
Yeah, I don't think normally I would say Ravens by like 20 plus, but I don't think this is going to be a blowout.
Mm.
These are two desperate teams. I think it's going to be scrappy. It's going to come down to the wire, but I think the Ravens do enough. All that matters is you get the win and get on a winning streak and don't lose it by any means possible. Get the win. And I think we all agree with the Ravens here, but again, Thursday night's been the ultimate wild card so far this season, so we'll see what happens. But can't wait for week 9. We're halfway through the season. It's flying by. And let's see if I can double my lead and finish the season with a 2-game lead on Amanda.
I like he says
But
double, like he was up by so many games, guys. Let me double my 1 game lead.
hey, if I win by 2 games, that's just as good as your 29-game win last year.
Keep telling yourself that, pumpkin.
Triple A killing it once again every week. We bring the heat, and if you're not subscribed, you're missing out. So hit that subscribe. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know what you think, and have a great week, guys. Peace out.